Every day, millions of people read the news trying to guess the future. Prediction markets like Polymarket have quietly transformed from a crypto sandbox into the world's primary information exchange. And this place is full of paradoxes. On one tab, someone is betting $1 million on whether a politician will trip on the stairs. And literally on the next tab, they are deciding whether a conflict in Taiwan will break out. And while the rest of the internet treats this like a casino trying to guess the outcome, insiders are doing something completely different. They aren't guessing, they know in advance. I asked myself, does this 1% of smart money leave a digital footprint?
Insider trading.
It turns out, yes. And I found an algorithm that tracks this exact footprint. Finding a tool like this was an absolute nightmare. I tested dozens of VIP channels in private groups, and you know what? 99% of them are just delayed garbage that only feeds their creators. I blew a chunk of my deposit on test until I came across a system that works differently. It doesn't just analyze the news, it parses insider wallets seconds before the chart shoots up. I think I've intrigued you enough, and you're probably wondering what this system is and how it actually works. Meet the Polymarket AI tool. The system uses a cascade of recursive neural networks. While one model filters on-chain data and liquidity, the other cross-references it with news sentiment. It's a sophisticated mathematical filter that strips away the noise to deliver a 70 to 80% win rate. This isn't a get-rich-quick button, it's a precision instrument that requires capital. With a $100 deposit, you're testing the system, making a conservative $1,000 by the end of the month. But starting at $300, the bot switches to an aggressive reinvestment mode. This is the math of scale at work. $15,000 by the end of the week isn't luck, it's the result of a precise algorithm. Today, we're going to put this bot to the test on real-world events with real money. Let's dive in. Okay, let's move on to the practical part. Here is the system we were talking about. This is the website where you can download the bot. To start the download, you need to click this button, and there will be a detailed instruction guide. The setup will be provided through your personal dashboard, which I'll show you a bit later. I'll leave the link to the website in the description. Let's go to Polymarket, and here we can already see the Polysniper extension. It works directly on top of the market, so there's no need to search for events manually or jump between dozens of tabs. The task is simple. Choose a live market, wait for a signal, and see how accurately it performs. For this test, we'll take a fast BTC up or down market for 5 minutes. These types of events are convenient because the result is visible almost immediately, and you don't have to wait a whole day or week. The bot pulls market data, shows the active event, volume, category, and most importantly, the forecast direction. Here, it gives a down signal, and not just based on "I think so," but with a probability estimate and risk level. I'm deliberately refreshing the page to show that this is not a pre-recorded or prepared shot. The extension syncs with the market again and gives the same analysis. Let's place $2,000 according to the bot's forecast. The amount is no longer symbolic because with a small deposit, the result is barely noticeable. But with proper capital, even one short-term move starts to matter. Now we simply wait for the market to close. I'll speed this part up so the video doesn't drag on. And here is the result. The prediction worked. The event closed in the right direction. Now let's move to the personal dashboard and look at the bot settings. And here you can see that this is not just a small extension on top of Polymarket. The system has a full dashboard, total market volume, number of new insiders, number of AI predictions, and the number of tracked bets for the day. So the bot does not work based on a single chart. It scans the entire flow of events at once and selects the markets where the probability is actually above average. Next, I open the account section. Here you can see my profile, total volume, win rate, and position history. And here is the latest bet we just made. The BTC up/down 5-minute market, a $2,000 deposit, and the trade closed as a settled win. So this is not a fake example and not just theory. The signal appeared, I entered based on it, the market closed in the right direction, and the result was displayed directly in the account history. Now let's move to the AI Insights section. Here, the system no longer shows my personal trades. Instead, it scans potential opportunities. It looks across different categories: politics, sports, tech, crypto, macro events, and shows markets with high probability. For example, some opportunities have 92% confidence, some have 78%, and some, on the contrary, have only 15%. And this is important. The bot does not say enter everywhere. It filters events and shows where there is a probability imbalance. And here's the most important part, the config. This is where the entry logic itself is configured: deposit size, slippage limit, minimum confidence, auto bet trigger, front-run institutional flow, and dynamic gas multiplier. My deposit is set to $2,000, and the minimum confidence is 85%. This means the bot does not open a trade just because the market moved. It waits until several conditions align: probability, liquidity, movement from large wallets, and market confirmation. And that is exactly why this does not look like an ordinary bet. It is more like an automated filter that removes weak entries. Below, you can see the technical log. Here, the bot shows that it is connected to the Polymarket RPC, sees wallet activity, analyzes the market, checks the direction, and only after that confirms the entry. So behind one button on the screen, it is not just guessed or didn't guess. There is a whole chain of checks: first data, then signal, then risk, and only after that execution. And the last section is insider alerts. Here, the system collects wallets and accounts that it tracks separately. This is exactly what I mentioned at the beginning. Smart money leaves a trail. Someone enters a market a few minutes before a move, someone consistently trades the same categories, and someone appears only in high-volume events. The bot does not just look at the price, it looks at who is behind the movement. And this is where the main idea becomes clear. The same strategy can produce completely different results depending on the deposit size. If you enter with $100, you are basically just testing the system. Yes, you can make a profit, but growth will be limited by the size of the position. But when the deposit is larger, $500, $1,000, $2,000, scale starts to work. It is the same signal, but the profit is completely different.